Hello, everybody. Welcome to Polygames. I'm your host, Joseph, and today we are finishing up all of our coverage on Street Fighter V, and we're wrapping it up the best way we know how, and that is by reviewing this game. Now, first off, normally I was going to say I was going to stop doing reviews, but this game definitely earned a review. It definitely taught me a lesson that reviews, they're there for a reason. And with that being said, this game got nines and eights from a lot of major websites out there, and I thought this game was like, oh god, okay, eights, nines, this is really good. I'm really excited for it. Also, for the sake of transparency, I bought this game with my own money. Capcom didn't send me an issue or any type of codes. Nothing. This is the game. I bought it, my money, all that jazz. So I'm going to be as non-biased as humanly possible and say that I'm not even that much of a fighter type. I stray away from fighters. I'm not good at them. But this game I wanted because I wanted to get good at them. And I thought, what better way of getting better than trying it out with a classic that is Street Fighter? So let's get right into it. What the hell did I like from this game? It had to be the combat. The combat is fucking tight. It feels good when you hit someone. It feels like you're making contact with them. The characters, there's a balance between them. There might be a character that has a long reach, but he can't take a punch. There might be a character that's really fast, but he can't take a punch. There may be a big ass character that could take punches, but is slow as hell. I really like that. You know, I was gonna say that the lack of a huge roster, because it's only 16 characters, was a point, but to be honest, it's actually better that way. Smaller is better, people. All right, ladies. Um, Huge doesn't mean that there's a lot of great characters. 16 is a nice fit. It's fine. You have that balance is what I'm trying to get at. That it's way easier to achieve with 16 characters. So with that being said, combat felt great. When I was fighting my brother on new walkthroughs, which you should check it out, we were having fun. With that being said, though, there are issues with it, and we'll get to that later. The other thing I really liked is the music. The music is really great. The sound effects are really great. Everything, every time you hit someone or you do a special move, feels special. Sounds like you're making a hit. The menu music has to be the fucking most metal fucking music I have ever heard. It has a kind of like a Spanishy guitar intro, and then all of a sudden it hits you with this like 90s nostalgia mixed with like a little bit of like metalcore in the background. I really liked it. I was like, this is some kick-ass menu music. And then other than that, that's the high point of this video. Everything else goes downhill from here. That's the only two things I can actually think in my head that I like about this game. The story mode, which we'll start with first, isn't a story mode. You just follow a character for 3 or 4 levels, 3 or 4 matches, and then you're done. That story's over. So there's 16 mini stories, and none of them really match together to make a overarching theme. There's nothing like that. It's very simple. That being said, you learn as much walking out as you did walking in. You don't learn fucking anything about any of these characters. So when you're following Ryu, you know he's mad. He's looking at his fist. Oh, I don't know how to control my anger, and that's it. Leaves you there. Chun Li, I'll look for my pa. That's it. You leave. Everybody else is really forgettable, and to be honest, I didn't find a lot of appeal in most of the new characters. I thought people like Fang were really annoying. Mika, her voice was like Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls on speed. Um, and then Rashid, though I like him, I like that would be my main. He's an Arab character, but he's being voiced by a white guy, and it's really apparent. And why the fuck does he have a fucking power fucking scanner on his face too? This isn't Dragon Ball Z. I don't know. And then Laura, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna pull a Marco Rubio. Laura is horrible. She, I did not like Laura one bit. She's supposed to be Brazilian, but she is being played by an African woman, and I just wanted to point it out because I'm not one of those PC like, hey, a black character has to be played by a black guy or a white guy has to be played by a white guy, but as long as that person fits into that role, I can see that, and that's cool. as long as I'm like, oh shit, that character wasn't even black or that character wasn't even white. Holy shit, that's great on that actor's part. That's fine. But when when that Rashid sounds like Nolan North, I'm just like, what the fuck is this? It's not believable at all. And I just found it really odd. I'm not trying to say that they're whitewashing anything, but voices did not really match the characters in these games, and the dialogue was really weak. With that being said, the modes in this game, if you're not an online type of guy like myself, you don't have much to choose from. You have story mode, survival mode, which is like a horde mode. It's fight until you drop. You don't gain any health back. You gotta buy it with points that you get from combos, which I did not find fun whatsoever. And then there's training. Other than that, there was no single player stuff. So there's not even an arcade mode where it's like, hey, fight random NPC number 5, you know? There's not even a tournament mode or a brackets mode. Nothing of that sort, which I found fucking odd because every fighting game has that. Every fighting game. Every single fucking one I've ever played has some type of arcade mode where you choose an enemy and you fight and you beat the shit out of them. Even past Street Fighters have had this, so why is it not in this game? There is a versus mode to it that you can play with a friend, but you can't play against an NPC. Now, I'm going to, be that person that defends it, saying, hey, listen, Capcom promised that they're going to bring out more patches and stuff as the months go by. But I'm reviewing this game right now, and I'm not going off of what a developer or publisher promises to me, because devs and publishers promise the fucking world, and do they ever really deliver? Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. So as long as there's nothing in this game right now, yeah, right now there's nothing in this game. Could be totally different in June, or could be totally the same. So with that being said, yeah, I'm not scaling this game up by any sort of the imagination off a company's promise of don't worry, there'll be more. With that being said, when I bought this game, they're like, you want to buy the $30 DLC? Motherfucker, I don't even know if I like the game yet. And you're asking me to fork over $30. It's funny how they're charging you like, trying to charge you $90 for nothing in here yet. With that being said, the online. Let's talk about the online, because this game is really about, people that are hardcore into the series fighting online. This is not for the noobs right now. It's not for people like me. The online is good when it works. I have been able to only get into 5 matches so far. And I wanted to get to at least 10. But the connection to the servers are so dog shit right now that I can't get into a server. But thankfully, when I get into a match, yeah, there's no lag. There's nothing of that sort. So it's not like my connection's just shit, stop whining. No, this is from thousands of players on both the PlayStation 4 and PC are having the same issue. This is messed up and stupid, and Capcom is aware of it. They're fixing that issue, but guess what? As of right now, as of this review, the game is just not playable online. Now, it could be totally different once I put this video up. Servers could be running, jolly fine, but as I'm reviewing this right now, nothing online. It's depressing. I feel like I feel genuinely ripped off. I feel like I spent $60 on a promise and broken internet. That's what I feel like. I feel like this game was rushed. That Sony rushed Capcom to make this game. This game should have launched in the summer. If there's, content that you're going to put in, and don't worry, everything's going to be fixed by June, then just release this shit in June. Because right now, guess what? It's fucking shit. This game is not playable by yourself or online. I can't recommend this to anybody right now for $60, $40, or $30. Can't recommend it. So with that being said, guys, what am I rating this game? I saw online a review, 1.5 stars out of 5. That's harsh as fuck, but I can see where he's coming from. If I had to score it from 1 to 10, I would give this game a 3, maybe a 4. 3.5, how about that? If I give it stars, I'd give it 2. If I give it a letter grade, it's a fucking failure. This is by far the worst game I have had to review, and I've reviewed Battlefield Hardline. Okay? I reviewed The Order. I even think I did Evolved. And this game is suffering the fate like Evolved, like Titanfall, like Battlefront, where it's promising, hey, don't worry, there'll be content, trust us. And I believe me when I make this promise, in a month the community will be gone at least in half. So with that being said, guys, that's what I think of this game. Do not buy it, even if you're a fan of the series. What Capcom needs to do is atone for what they've done and actually put in content. They gotta stick to their word and make me look like a fucking idiot. Because right now this game is not. No. This game is a fucking trade-in if you have it. Literally, I will take the $5 that GameStop is going to give me for that shit that I threw on the floor, because it's not worth anything right now. See, I try to be nice. You saw I was really nice in the beginning, and then fuck it. This was a chance to bringing me back into a fighter, and usually, they fail at that because I just suck at fighting. And I don't like the combat. But this one couldn't get me into the game, but I loved its combat, but it had a lack of content. Fucking ridiculous. This game is horseshit. And yeah, don't buy it. And now I gotta check on my cat because she's crying. She needs a dad. And she's scared because I threw that tray at her. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I didn't see you. Anybody, guys? Have a great one. Please also like, subscribe, all that jazz. If you like my face, I don't know why you would, but please, there's links down below to my podcast, Polygames. Check it out. We say fuck sometimes. We're unedited, we're unscripted, and we're unemployed. So please check us out. And have a great fudging day.